Greetings! Welcome to the FaerySpeak. I'm Reverend John O'Toole. I hope you're enjoying our series, The Fairy Speaks for You. Welcome to my home studio in which I record The Fairy Speaks. It's a little more comforting than doing it in the studio in Lee. It has a little bit more fairy energy, as what I call Fairy Mountain. Not quite a mountain. We don't have to worry about flooding, and if we do, we're in big trouble. So if you're used to my series, or if this is your first time, this is the FaerySpeak. It's a fairy tarot card reading in which I will read for you with the assistance of my fairy friends. I'd like to introduce you to my friend Harry. Now Harry is a friend of mine. He's a gnome. Now not like the gnomes you're used to with the pointy hats and that you see in garden gnomes. This one here is about 4 feet tall, and he has really bushy, hairy feet. And that's why we call him Harry. Or his long name, of course, is Hairy Feet. That must be what it says on his passport. Hairy Feet. But you might get a glimpse of him if some of you might be able to see certain things. You might see him with me when I'm driving around Lee or the Berkshires. And so he joins me on these reads. And I have a card that I drew for him. And he hangs out. So I have these cards. They're Fairy Oracle from Brian Froud. And I would suggest that if you were into doing your own tarot reading, is that you would actually go and actually touch the cards at a bookstore. Around here, maybe Crystal Essence, or Barnes & Noble, or the bookstore over in Lenox. You can order your cards from online, multiple places like Amazon, but you wouldn't be able to touch them. And I really think that you want to really touch them. You can feel it, and you can read it, and you might even be able to talk to the person at the store, if it's a metaphysical bookstore, to kind of give you insight on what cards are best for you. You can get them and bring them home and try them out. Maybe you can return them. But just saying, it's a suggestion. So I have these cards, and I also have a cheat sheet that I have read the cards and read the book, because there's a book that comes with the Fairy Oracle. And so it gives me something to start off with. And then as we flow through the reading, I will get some insight as to what's going on. So you out there could come up with your own questions. The fairy are going to help me pick the cards. That takes the stress off of you guys. And in the past, I used to say that you guys would help me pick the cards, but then the fairies just kind of, they didn't say joke on you, but they kind of like wanted it to go that direction so that I could be comfortable about doing reads in front of thousands of people. And I have done group readings at shows, New Age type shows, which have been actually kind of fun. And what happens is that each card has a personal meaning and a group meaning. And that's how it kind of works when I do it with the intention, that it's for everybody. And it could even be for myself, my own personal process at the time. It's a really kind of cool thing. There's no rules here. Well, maybe I'm just full of malarkey and you're just here to pass the time because you're waiting for the best football game to go on. It's possible. Very possible. So, we're going to pull 6 cards, and we're going to see how we do. Okay, so let's pick some cards. We're going to do 6 cards. Is that what I said? Did I say 6? Okay, so let's start with 6. And we'll see how we do. You ready? If you wonder what I'm feeling, I feel like a temperature change or movement of air. So when I take them off the deck, I want to try to keep the orientation correct. The orientation is with respect to you, not myself. So this card, which I just pulled, is actually in a vertical position. If it was upside down to you, then it would be in reversal. Card that no one likes to be pulled. The death card. Dun dun dun! Everyone always fears the death card, but it really isn't really about death. It's usually about transformation. Alrighty. So let's start. Where do you wish to start? Do we start at the last card I pulled? Or the first card that I pulled? Or in the middle? Well, I haven't done this one before, and this is what I just heard. I don't know, was my idea? Was it the fairy's idea? Was it your idea? I just heard the idea. I'm going to do every other card. Like you're tightening up the bolts on your tire after you change the flat tire. We're going to do this one, and then this one, then this one, then this one, then this one. Yep. That's the order. And it could change in a heartbeat. So our first one is number 21, the fairy that was kissed by the pixies. Now, even though it's a woman, I'm sure any guy would be tickled pink. Love given, love received. this is what you want in any kind of relationship, whether it's your partner, or your mother, or your brother, or your sister, or the mailman. You want love given and received in any kind of relationship. But this card was in reverse to you. It was like this. So, metaphorical open heart surgery. Now that's a really odd card to start with on our first read. And it's kind of like you basically have left yourself wide open. Love given and received. Well, if you give all your love to people and you don't get anything back, you're just going to get hurt. And it's going to hurt in your heart chakra. You might feel like you're being stabbed in the back. You might have a tummy ache in your solar plexus, but it's really going to be in the heart. That's the first one. That one, we're going to go to this one, the fawn. Funny because it looks like one of the beginning ones. The fawn, number 35. Very pretty card. Reminds me of that scene in Harry Potter. Is it the third one? They're at the pond and they see the deer. The fawn, understanding the nature of nature, natural wisdom and natural magic. But this card was in reverse. Another reverse card. In fact, we have a few reverse cards. In fact, most of the cards are in reverse. We only have 2 vertical cards, which is kind of interesting. Take a break and get a fresh air, a breath of fresh air. Understanding the nature of nature, natural wisdom, natural magic. So wish to take a break and get a breath of fresh air, which kind of goes back to the open heart surgery. Kind of, you just shield yourself from those people in your life that are causing you emotional pain. Collection of pixies. Number 48. This card was a vertical card. Collection of pixies. Duty, willingness, joyful participation, and virtue. Duty, willingness, joyful participation, and virtue. Now that's an odd card to pull up with the other 2 cards, because it's almost giving the impression that even though you don't have equal love given and received, that you're supposed to just suck it up. How many times have people told you, just suck it up? John, just suck it up. You don't have a right to happiness. Do your job. You're supposed to be miserable. We're supposed to be a miserable race. And do it with a smile. It's a very curious card to pull up considering the first two, isn't it? I just pulled this one. Must be this one, number 19, the Sage. Interesting card indeed. Wisdom, hidden knowledge, retreat, old age, and patience. Interesting, huh? Wisdom, hidden knowledge, retreat, old age, and patience. But this one was in reverse. Artificial or inappropriate boundaries are set between different aspects of life. Now this is kind of like what we're talking about with the first two cards. Love given and received freely is the goal. That's where we're happy. You know, you help somebody, they help you. Not only do you help somebody and they help you, it's done automatically. It's done with awareness. It's not done in obligation. It's not done because you have to. Now, granted, when you got a job and you have to do things for your job. But there's ways that where people are happy doing their job is because there's an interaction and there's a connection. And what they do, they feel like they're doing and they're enjoying themselves. People that have a job and they're miserable there every day. So now we get to that one that you've just been dying for me to do a reading for. Number 53. Are you ready? Dun dun dun! I kid you. I'm only kidding you. Death card. Now I don't know if I've actually pulled this death card. I don't actually recall doing it. But natural, timely endings, release, and libertarian. Liberation. Release and endings. But this card was in reverse. Now the death card basically is the same thing in just about everybody's tarot card set. The death card is about transformation. It's not about death. It's about transformation. Well, actually, when you pass, you are actually transforming from one life to another, or one reality to another. But when you pull this card up in just about any other tarot card, it means pretty much the same thing. It's a transformation card. Going when one door opens, the other door closes. Oh, I got that backwards. When one door closes, another door opens. That's what this card's about. Now this card here, this card was in reverse. Important change is being blocked by clinging on to old habits. Things. Change may seem too difficult to achieve. Important change is being blocked by clinging to old habits or things. Change may seem too difficult to achieve. So what we're talking about here is again, the love given and received. Now, if you've been a caretaker most of your life, and you've probably been unhappy with it because you haven't been getting love back, you're obligated to take care of somebody, or your job requires that you're constantly giving, giving, giving. Like if you're a CNA or a nurse in a facility, kind of facility, it's like Christmas time when you give Christmas presents, and then you kind of hope that there's a present under that tree with your name on it. Giving and receiving. But if you complain that you don't have any presents, I was a caretaker for most of my life. It's an interesting change to switch from that. How many caretakers, how many needy people can be taken care of by one person? Well, quite a few. And that one person can be kind of unhappy most of the time. So that's the death card. Transformation. So we must be on this card here, the Singer of Intuition. Number 7. Perceptiveness, oracle powers, awareness, and trust. But this card was also in reverse. Interesting read, huh? How can you learn to be quiet within yourself, more peaceful? Now, some would say that you need to ground more, but grounding can cause you to be affected by the negative energy around you. Like water. Water is about emotion. And some people think, oh, it's so cool to go sit next to a stream. Well, if you put that stream as being negative emotions, there's a lot in there. There's a lot of negative emotions in a stream, particularly if it's causing a flood. You imagine the flood. North Carolina and South Carolina is being flooded out, and you look at that as being negative emotion. Look at where the country is right now. You can understand why that negative emotion is just lingering over those two states. It's really quite sad, and if you look at it that way, it's even more intriguing. So centering and shielding is a better process than grounding. Because if you ground, you might pick up on the negativity going on around you. You know, walking in grass. You could walk in grass, even if you're wearing shoes. It might be better if you're in your bare feet. But you're being in nature. My daughter and I went to this place called I call it the Butterfly House, and it's up in Deerfield, Mass. In fact, I have a video up on it. And you go sit in this very nice, very lush indoor garden, and it's full of butterflies. You immerse yourself in nature. Find some place in your life where you can go and immerse yourself in nature. If you live someplace that's more city-like, find some place to be able to sit and relax, and just sit and relax. And put your phone down and turn it on silent or airplane mode, and just connect with nature, even if it's just a single bird. Being real, earthing, grounding, and centering. But this card was in reverse. Get someone to help pull you back to earth. This is urgent that you don't float away and learn to fly properly. Not a Harry Potter reference. Centering, shielding. Now you can meditate and pretend you're flying or transporting to another planet, but you have to be able to come back. Your body is in a park bench. So you just can't go off willy-nilly without maintaining a connection to your earthly body. So learn to center. Learn to shield. And learning to shield is just like putting a shield. Put a shield around you, just like a little force field. Imagine yourself in a bubble. You're around people that dump their negativity on you. Just say to yourself, shield yourself. Say it out loud if you need to. Imagine yourself putting a bubble around yourself. And this is a vertical card, number 17, himself. Center yourself, shield yourself from others. Put yourself in situations where you have love given and received freely between the two of you, with you and the other person. Whether it's where you work, whether it's where you worship. Bring yourself to center. Once you get into the habit of centering yourself, all you need to do is say your word center. And you'll be right back where you are. So, I hope you've enjoyed this program. I know I have. I've had a ball. So until next time, the fairy speaks for you. Da 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 da.